Okay, hello everyone. My name is Oceana. Thank you for being here. As you can tell, I'm going to be reading The Nightingale in this video. This is highly anticipated. I know this is a beloved book and so many people love this book. And a lot of people that don't usually like historical fiction like this book. So it's just so popular that I am going to give it a try. I don't like historical fiction usually. I did find this in a little free library a couple weeks ago. And so I thought, well, now's my chance to take my time with it. I did already start it. I'm on chapter 6. So I'm going to give initial thoughts here, and I'm just going to document exactly how I feel. I don't think I'm going to give specific spoilers, but I am going to talk about the content. I do like to share about basically spice ratings in books, and then language as well, if there is any, and then violence if there is any. This is a World War II story, so there is likely going to be violence, I would assume. I don't know exactly how detailed we get into the war, but it's definitely the setting of this book. And then there might be some spice too. I don't actually know. I've heard some of her other books have it, but whatever, we're gonna get into it. So 6 chapters in, I do like the writing style. I am interested. I'm not bored right away, which is a really good sign. And the audiobook is really well done. So I've listened to the 6 chapters on audio and I like it. And I'm gonna continue to do that until I lose the audiobook, and then I'll just read it after that. 6 chapters in, there was a mention of a fade to black scene, so it was pretty mild, but it was there. It was fade to black though. And then to be honest, I don't remember if there's any language up to this point. I think there was one swear word maybe, but because it was the audiobook, I didn't clock what chapter that was in, but I think there was at least one. So there you go. But basically this is set in France during World War II. The sisters are Vienne. Okay, it's all French too, so. Okay, yeah, so Vienne is the person at the very beginning of the book who's in 1995 thinking about life, whatever, and then she's recounting what's going on. So she has sections in the book, and then there's another sister named Isabel, and she also, I think she's a younger sister, and she gets chapters in her perspective too. And yeah, you're just kind of following them and who they interact with. So Vienne, I believe, has a husband already and kids, and then Isabel is single. So those are the two differences there, and we're just gonna see what happened to them. I've heard it's heartbreaking. I've heard crazy stuff happens, so I have no idea what to expect, but I'm going to give you guys my honest opinions, and this video is me reading this book. So dedicated video for this book. Hopefully you guys are interested in seeing my thoughts. I know most of you probably have read it already, but for those of you who have not, maybe you'll be interested in it after I've read it. I don't know. And then if you have read it, talk with us in the comments. Tell us why you like or don't like it, and I think this will be really interesting. Yo, this is brutal. This is this isn't for a fun time. This is to, oh no, It has been a while since I've updated on this book. I took a break from reading it and I got sick and just all the things, but I'm finally like getting back on track with videos and updating on my vlogs. And so I just reread a little section at the very end of chapter 11 to like refresh where I was. And yeah, so I'm about to start chapter 12. I don't have the audiobook anymore, so I'm just gonna read it, which I'm far enough into it that I've like gotten a handle on the story and I can picture the setting enough to just read it myself. So that is probably what I'm going to do, because I want to finish this book. I don't want to let it sit here, because I think if I put too much time in between reading it, I won't like it as much. At this point, like, it's certainly well written. The vivid descriptions of the setting and the characters, their emotions, each character is very unique and distinct. Like, it's just all well done. It's good writing, in my opinion. Like, I think it's well done. The actual story is like, I'm not enjoying it because it's just sad. Like, there's nothing to enjoy other than the writing style, I would say. So fair enough. So I'm gonna keep going, and I mean, there's so much more to go. I mean, I guess at least I know one character lives because of the flashbacks. Like, the lady you meet at the very beginning, she is one of the main characters in the past, and so I know she lives. But everyone else, who even knows? And that's what I don't like, is like character deaths that I don't see coming. They hurt my feelings. I don't like it. Like, who's gonna survive? Who do I need to prepare to like say goodbye to? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit more today and I'll check in. But you guys, this is gonna wreck me, I think. So I don't even know. Hello everyone, update time. I'm in my sister's car. Oh, what are the odds? They're right beside me. Maybe they won't even notice. Great. Okay. I'm in my sister's car. She ran into Valley Village and I was like, ooh, now's my chance to update my vlog, because I have been reading The Nightingale, you guys, and I'm really into it, which is such a pleasant surprise, you guys. Like, I'm enjoying it a lot. I actually am. I'm on chapter 19 right now, page 200, literally 200. So I've read quite a bit, and it is so easy to read. That's the thing. Like, none of it is confusing. The language makes sense. Like, there is a little bit of French language and sometimes I don't know what it means, but like, it doesn't hinder my enjoyment. It doesn't hinder my understanding. And it is just so well written and well told in such a clear way, but still deep. Like, it's not like a simple, like, anyone could write this, like, but she's written it so that I feel like a lot of people can understand it, especially if you're not usually into historical fiction, because it's hard to understand or because like the setting just doesn't click with you. She's so good at making the setting make sense, and then the characters, they feel real, they feel like they have depth, their motivations make sense, and I'm just really enjoying it, you guys. I'm very surprised, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I was worried I wasn't gonna like this book, mainly because I was worried it was gonna be super sad or just boring, but it is not boring. It is sad, but the characters are so motivated of what they're doing. It just makes sense why they do what they do day to day. And so you follow these two sisters, and she's so good at balancing when we're in each sister's perspective and what they're doing in their life. Like, the two sisters are doing such different things, which actually makes the story even more interesting, because you get to see two sides to how you could react to this war if you were a French person back then. And it's just fascinating to me, especially because this is World War II, and I studied more of World War I actually in my degree and like in life and stuff, I would say I know World War One better, but I do still find the two world wars fascinating because it involved Germany, and how did Germany do this? And like, they haven't done anything since, and it's so interesting, that piece of it. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it is just so interesting. It's so interesting, which, like, normally historical fiction is deathly boring to me, like painfully boring, which is why I'm not interested in it, especially if there's no romance. And there's not really much romance in this. Like, it's just not even about that. It's about these characters' lives. So yeah, there's been no language. They say mon Dieu, like in French, like my God. But other than that, there's been no language, and it's clean. And I can see why a lot of people love this book, honestly. And I'm only halfway done, and I can't even imagine what's going to happen. I know there is probably painful moments coming, and some painful things have already happened, but it feels like I am just here for the ride, and I think I'm going to really enjoy how this goes. And I do think that now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that the main lady at the beginning, like in the present time, is the sister I thought it was. And also, is it even a sister? Like, I don't know, you know? If I go back and read the prologue, I think that I got the wrong sister potentially. I don't know. So now I'm like, what? Okay. And then I will say, like, the prologue has some language in it, but ever since that, there's been no language. Like, yeah, SHIT is in the prologue, but otherwise there's nothing. So anyways, I'm really excited about that, as you can tell, and I can't wait to keep reading this. So yeah, I'm gonna update again, and for now, like at this point, at 200 pages in, I like it a lot. Like 4-star level for sure, which is very exciting because you know me. I'm like so critical of books these days, and like I'm hard to please, but this is working. This is working really well. I don't think this is my gateway into historical fiction. I think it's just maybe my gateway into Kristin Hannah, or it's just a one-off. I happen to really like this book, just like everyone else, but it's actually that good, I think, which is pretty cool. So yeah. Hi friends, so it's the next day since my last clip, and I've read some more. I guess I've only read 20 more pages because I was on page 200 before, now I'm on 220, so I'm not even done a chapter. But I will say the chapters are kind of long, but there was something, chapter 19, yeah, that's where I was, and then I read chapter 19, and it's kind of long. Like, here we go. Like, this is chapter 19. It's a really long chapter, but so much happened in it, and I feel like it's a turning point chapter, maybe, I don't know, but I'm really enjoying it, you guys. I can't believe it. Like, this is very exciting. I'm really enjoying it, but there's some things in chapter 19 that I want to bring up. So there is an F word in chapter 19. So I think this is the first one in the whole book. I don't know, but other than that, everything's good. There's, you know, just, I don't know. It's just such a good book. Chapter 19 was very exciting, and so now I'm at the beginning of chapter 20, and it is so intense, you guys. Like, I recommend this. I like it a lot. I can't believe it. And I also think, like, I just haven't read a book like this in so long, and it's kind of a refreshing change for me because I don't read this very often, and it's actually written so well though. I'm so excited. So yeah, I am gonna keep going. I feel like something is building, that like something terrible is gonna happen, because for now things have kind of been working out ish. I mean, for one of the sisters it definitely has been. For the other, it's still pretty tough, but I'm just so curious. And actually in this section, page 221, it just mentioned that the Americans joined the war now, so the Nazis are even angrier, and we're in February 1942. So the war is only like halfway over, and like there's still so much more to go, which makes sense because there's still like a whole half of a book left. So yeah, I'm gonna read some more, and I'll check in if anything crazy happens, but I just have to say again, I love this book. guys, I just read the most devastating thing I've read in a while. Page 258. Absolutely devastating. Like, I felt the emotion right then. This is so intense.
Wow.
Oh, you guys. Oh, okay. Oh, this is so sad. Okay, page 261, the last line of chapter 22. What kind of benevolent God would allow such a thing? That is the age-old question. Oh, absolutely devastating, you guys. And there's so much more to go. The thing I wanted to mention is somewhere between chapter 19 and chapter 22, there was another F word. And then there was also SHIT as well at some point. So just wanted to let you guys know that. But the language hasn't been bad and it hasn't hindered my enjoyment at all. Like, there's something about like this time that because the swearing doesn't happen often, when it does, I would almost say that like I would never say that it's warranted, but if I had to be okay with it, I would be in these situations. Absolutely devastating though. I'm on chapter 23 now. I'm stopping more often to give updates than I was before because like so much is happening now. I don't even know like what else could possibly happen. Like, who's not gonna survive this? Okay guys, update. I read a lot more. I'm gonna finish it tonight. I'm on chapter 33. So much has happened and it's written so incredibly well and I'm very invested, and I think my heart's gonna get broken through this because like based on the present chapters, like the 1995 chapters, there's only one like woman still around that we know of. Like hopefully there's more, but and I don't even know which one it is now. Like, yeah. So, and I don't even know which one I hope that it is because I'm really invested in both sisters. And what if it's neither sister? It could be someone else. I bet I don't know who, but like, yeah. So a lot is gonna go down in these chapters and oh no, it's gonna be sad. I don't think I'll cry, but it may. I'm gonna need to read some light and fluffy romance after this, that's for sure. I'm so surprised, you guys. I'm probably gonna give this 5 stars, to be honest. Like, very surprised by that, but I've just been so impressed the more that I've read, and I think it deserves 5 stars. So I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll probably update when I finished it. And that's all I can say. Hello everyone, good morning. I finished The Nightingale last night and I'm here to talk about it. This book, there is something so special about it, and I now understand what everyone's talking about when they talk about this book. I can't even put words to the way Kristin Hannah made this story come to life for me. I have read World War II fiction before. Usually is just sad, and I will say that this is a very sad book. But she's so good at weaving hope through it as well, even when it looks like there will be no hope. And I feel like she put the perfect amount of like time jumps and like chapter breaks and perspective changes for me to not feel like this is just a big downer. I really enjoyed the ending. I will say the climax, or just like when things started to fall apart, it was really difficult to read. And there was one scene in particular, and there's like trigger warnings for sure in this book, but one scene in particular made me very uncomfortable. And so I was ready to give this 5 stars, but I don't think I can. It's 4 stars, but there's 5-star moments in this book. And I don't want to fault the book for going there. Like, definitely doesn't tread lightly on the realities of war and what women go through in war, especially when the Nazis occupied France, that French women were not treated well. And you see that. And that was really hard for me to read. There's just one scene in particular, gave just enough details where I was like, also sorry about the washing machine every time. I'm gonna close my door. Like, I think of that scene, so basically it is a sexual assault scene. And if that scene had just a little bit less details, I probably would have given this 5 stars, but there were just enough details that it was really difficult to read. And that's not the fault of the book. It's just my own problems, I guess, or like my own whatever preferences in what you read. So I will put it out there that there is an assault scene. It's not extremely graphic, but it is still difficult to read. And it's difficult for me to read no matter what, but there's certain times, like the way that an author can write about it so that it's not so triggering, but this one was like kind of triggering, so that's upsetting. And yeah, I still think that this was extremely well done. I loved the ending and how it wrapped up and how things were like revealed. The 1995 perspective is one of the sisters, but I felt like as the chapters went on, I was like, oh, but which sister is it? And it was hard to know which one it was. Even until the very end, I wasn't exactly sure which sister it was. And so that was kind of fun, a bit of a mystery in there. And yeah, I think this book is amazing. I'm really glad that I read it. I'm glad that I know now. And if I could read historical fiction like this, I would read it more. But I don't necessarily want to keep reading historical fiction, especially wartime fiction. I know that war is deadly and that people suffer, and I'm very sensitive to that, and I don't enjoy reading it or like being shown it, you know? The suffering, it's like to keep my own mental peace, like I don't want to read it, you know? So I was able to read it. I was very entertained through some of this, and like it was so well written that I'm glad I read this. I don't regret reading it, but I just have to like really emphasize how intense this book is. And I don't know if it's for everyone because of how intense it goes, but it doesn't get too intense until like chapter 23-ish. So the first like 75% of the book, it was just such a fascinating story, and nothing too terrible happened in the first 75%. So I liked it for that, but then everything just goes wrong for these characters in the last bit, and it was hard to read for sure. But still, the ending, there were so many things that like were redeemed, I would say, despite all of the terrible things that happened. And I will say, like, the line that I shared about like one of the characters saying like, how can a benevolent God allow this? There was no kind of like redemption there. So they stayed with their Catholic faith, but it was kind of glossed over after that. Like, but I also wouldn't say that it was kind of anti-religion in this book. I don't think that any one religion was painted worse than the other. So I don't think anything like wrong was done there. I think it was accurate, to be honest, and I'm okay with it. So anyways, I hope that I explained myself pretty decently. Thank you for watching this video. I did not expect this. I kind of thought I was gonna think this book is boring and I'm not into it, but that is not the case. Like, it was not boring at all. I was like fascinated by it, but it was definitely difficult to read at times, and I did struggle to read it because of just the realities of war and how awful it is. And yeah, anyways, so that is that. Thank you for watching this video, you guys. I am gonna go back to my lighthearted romance for a little bit, but I am interested in reading more fiction outside of what I normally read. Maybe historical fiction, maybe just, I don't know, maybe Kristin Hannah. I'm not sure which Kristin Hannah book I would read next, because I don't know that I want to read about anything else that she's written. Firefly Lane interests me because I think it starts in the 1970s and goes from there, so I might be interested in that one, but we'll see. I don't know. But anyways, thank you for watching, you guys, and I will see you in my next video.